Hi, you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I hope that you all are doing well. So, today's word will be about what are you accustomed to, meaning your traditions. So, we know that a lot of us, we have grown up in many different types of ways, styles, many different types of traditions within inside a family. So, we know that and I use this example because I have seen that this is more common um, in a lot of people and a lot of women, and sometimes men, a lot of men that I have talked to and seen and, actually grew up with. So, growing up being taught to sleep with women in private, but you date men in public. Um, so, a lot of us grew up liking women but dated men. We were trained to be this way at such a young age. So when we became adults, to us it became normal. Um, because we have been operating in something for so long, we didn't see the wrong in what we were doing. At times we felt like we were, entitled to these things. This also can go for, women that are used to dating a lot of men, men that are used to dating a lot of women. Um, Sometimes that is a tradition for some people, for some family. That's what they have been taught. You know what I mean? So when they get older and they go into trying to um, have a real family or trying to live a different lifestyle, it becomes very hard because their past, their old ways, what they are accustomed to, their traditions begin to affect their future. So their past begins to affect their future, and they begin to feel as though they should be able to be entitled to this because it's something that they are used to. And just because, it's something that you're used to, it does not make it right. So we sometimes get into a place in a position and in our hearts, sometimes we may feel bitter. We may feel, attacked. We may feel like and feeling attacked because others don't agree with, you know, what we are doing or sometimes what we believe. Um, Many times it gets us into a place where we are closed off because certain things have been so embedded into us that we don't know another way. Sometimes the hardest thing that we can possibly go through is have our future looking right at us, and our past is holding us back with such a stronghold that we're screaming to get free because we are stuck in tradition and what we are accustomed to, and we can't move forward into our future and what we are accustomed to and what our tradition is, where we are going, it won't be allowed. And a lot of us, we struggle with that because we feel like it's right, or sometimes we even know it's wrong, but we don't know how to get out of it. It has such a strong hold. It has a generational tie to it because a lot of times families have taught this at such a very young age. Sometimes as young as, maybe 8 or 9, or maybe even a little bit younger than that. But being taught something for that long, it is seriously hard to discontinue that overnight. It is a process within itself to renew your mind of that type of thinking, that type of lifestyle, and that type of way of maneuvering with others around you and the people that you have connected to, in whichever way that you had deemed fit to fit your old lifestyle. So to break that, going forth, it's going to take a lot of new connections, disconnecting from old friends, disconnecting from old habits, things, people, anyone that is associated with the past that brings on those onsets of those custom like behaviors and traditions. It has to be broke. we have to get away from those type of people and things that remind us of the past so that we can go ahead and go forward and strengthening our relationship with God so that we will be able to see, what are our patterns, what are our triggers, how do we get into these certain places and these mindsets, and sometimes too, what is the root cause of you doing certain things, you feeling certain ways. Sometimes, a lot of us growing up, feeling certain ways and doing certain things, and sometimes we feel like that's just us until, we get to a place where we have to deal with it. And, God reveals to us, that that it, it wasn't us, but we were being influenced by something, or a traumatic situation affected us in a way that we did not see, or in a way that we did not understand. So God reveals those things to us as we go through the deliverance process. You begin to see everything in your life, everything that you do, you say, you walk, you talk, you act, how you interact with, other people, children, down to the last T. God will reveal to you what, is connected to there, what hurts, pains, any downfalls, confusions, and just all those type of things that we look over, and sometimes that we just don't know. There's a lot of things that we just don't know, and things that we just don't understand, that are going on with ourselves. And sometimes it does take for, God to send other people to show us and tell us, so that it can actually get into our mindset, so that we can actually begin the search. Because sometimes we don't know ourselves, because we have been so accustomed to it, and us being around family members that are doing the same thing. Of course we agree with each other, so how can we correct one another if we don't see anything wrong? If we don't see a problem, how can we correct each other? You know what I mean? So sometimes it takes an outside person that God will use, so that they can come and correct us. And of course, at first, it doesn't feel good if you don't know. Sometimes, we may feel like we are being attacked, or we may feel like you just don't understand, why you are the way you are, or the way your family is. It's a generational thing per se. So the two scriptures I have for this, the first one is Mark 7:8. This is the NIV version. It says, you have let go of the commandments of God and are holding on to the human tradition. Mark 7:13. NLT version. And so you cancel the word of God in order to hand down your own traditions. And this is only one example among many others. So those two scriptures right there, and they tell you that, a lot of us have been taught traditions, and it has been labeled as the word of God, in which it is not the word of God, but it has been presented in a way that it has been manipulated, and it has been contorted to where it seems true to us. And mind you, if a person doesn't know something, of course they're going to listen to someone that sounds like they have knowledge, someone that sounds like they know what they're talking about. Especially if you're a young person, you can be influenced very easily. If you're a child listening to adult, you have to listen to the adult. That's what we are taught. We don't know any better. So we have been tricked to believe that, worldly traditions of our families and worldly traditions of people we grew up with is correct. And a lot of us are in a time to where we're finding out a lot of those things are not correct. A lot of those things that they have been saying are biblical, they are not biblical. They're fleshly, they're worldly. You know what I mean? They're manipulative. those things of those nature. So we have to continue to seek after God. And this is why I always keep saying, seek after God, because sometimes, you know what I mean, we get ourselves into some patterns that we can't understand how to get out of. We keep meeting people, we keep doing certain things, and we can't understand it for the life of us. And for some of us that are really trying to do God, or at least just trying to better yourself just in general, sometimes we can't understand, why do I keep going through this certain thing? Or even sometimes some women keep seeking after certain men or certain women or certain friends, or whatever it is, because that's what they are accustomed to. That's what they are comfortable with. Familiar spirits. We grow up looking for the familiar things. If you are trying to live a life that's different from your childhood lifestyle, we really have to dig deep within ourselves and ask God for deliverance where we need it, so that we are able to make the right choices as we are going forward. A lot of things hinder us that we can't see sometimes, and sometimes when we don't understand. And I keep saying, if you're around family, some 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna know what's wrong with you. Sometimes, because sometimes the whole family has the issue, and of course, sometimes it feels comfortable to you, or sometimes you can be the family member that sees the issue, but you don't know how to get out of it, and people are judging you because you were trying to get out of something that is not right, but people are coming down on you because they feel as though you're trying to be better than anybody else, but you're just trying to get out of the cycle, the custom, the tradition that has been taught to you. So with that being said, take the time out, go on a fast, go, pray. If God leads you to do a fast, please do so. Ask God, what is it and where is it do I need to be delivered from? What is it that you need me to do? What is it that you need me to see? Allow God to lead you and to guide you in an area that you need deliverance from. If you have a temper problem, if you're very impatient, if you feel like your mouth is just the issue, that you just, you know what I mean? It's always getting you in trouble some type of way, or just your actions and the way you do things. You mishandle relationships. You mishandle friendships. You mishandle money. Whatever it is. Um, Go to God and ask Him. In prayer and fasting to help you to get past first off your flesh. Help Him. I know, say, ask God, say, God, dear Lord, help me to get past my flesh, so that I'm able to hear you clearly, and I'm not manipulating what I think I'm hearing off of my emotions and what others are trying to get me to do. And just remember, you know what I mean? This is your life. No one can make you do anything. You have to want to get free. You gotta have to want to break that cycle, that what you're accustomed to, that tradition. You know what I mean? You have to be the one that want to break it deep down in your spirit and in your heart. That's the only way it's gonna work, and not just saying, everybody pray for me, pray this and pray that, and people praying the paint off the walls for you, and in your heart you're not truly ready to be delivered and walk away from your lifestyle of tradition. It's gonna be hard for you. It's gonna be very hard, because what I call it, faking the funk. Just because people are telling you, or you feel like you need to do it, but you're not ready. It's not gonna work. You have to come to a conscious decision in your heart. God, whatever it take, I want out of this. I want to be free. I need to do better. Being better for your future, for your family, whatever it is that you're trying to do. Um, ask God for strength and clarity for those things. But first, you have to make up in your mind, do you really want this change? Do you really want to walk down this road? Because it's going to get lonely. We're going to have to ask ourselves, are you going to go back when you start feeling like it gets too hard? Or are you going to suffer through it all? Okay? So with that being said, I love you guys. Please take care and continue to be safe. I love you guys. Bye.